It's been a fixture in the Valley for 40 years, a place where special needs kids and adults found recreation and enjoyment. Now, some are saying Pegasus is dropping the ball. We'll look into that coming up. Welcome in on a Wednesday night. Appreciate you being here. Yes, we are still remote. I am still in Los Angeles doing my radio show. We want to start tonight with some disturbing video out of Desert Hot Springs. That individual had been running from the police. The city and the police offered this today.
Good afternoon, Desert Hot Springs. I'm Scott Mattis, the mayor of the city of Desert Hot Springs, and on behalf of the city council, we wanted to put out a statement today that will talk a little bit about the 3 homicides in our community recently. And I'm joined with our police chief, Jim Henson. Desert Hot Springs, the aggressiveness and combativeness of these individuals against our officers, employees, firefighters, and residents just won't be tolerated in our community. The use of force by officers are sometimes necessary measures to ensure their safety.
Our officers are dedicated to upholding the law and protecting the public. We review all use of force incidents and will take action if practices are out of line with our policies and commitment to protect and serve. We will not allow violence to disrupt the harmony of our city.
Our contributors tonight, as you take a look at that video once again, Stephanie Green, CEO of FG Creative, and Chauncey Thompson, COO of Barton CPA. We welcome both of you to the program tonight. Okay, Stephanie, we'll start with you. You've seen the video. What are your thoughts?
Well, we didn't see all the video. We don't know what he did prior to the police officers having to engage with him. And if he's a violent criminal and he's fighting back and resisting arrest, I think they need to use a little more extra force. So I don't know that I know enough to make a comment. I don't like force like that, but these bad guys are bad guys, and the police need to stay safe. Chauncey, do you agree?
I agree that we don't have the full scope of the video. In my opinion, the third officer that runs in and puts their knee on the neck, we've seen what that has done with other victims in the past. If there's a way to subdue them with tasers or even the baton, I guess. I mean, I just didn't like the part where the knee was on the neck again. And we've seen what's happened with that before.
You heard the police chief say these use of force cases are investigated by the department. Should these officers be immediately put on leave? Chauncey?
Yes, and I don't know if the department should be reviewing their own people. I think this should be something that's escalated up to the DA's office and having an independent investigation done. DHS has a small police force, so I'm not sure if that's the right outcome for this group.
Stephanie?
I think Chauncey makes really good points, both about the third guy and whether they should review their own cases. However, we don't know if this guy had a gun. And, we don't know how excessive this was and how bad this guy was. But I totally agree that it needs to be reviewed.
All right, last night, Palm Desert Mayor Karina Quintanilla stopped by to discuss the Rivco Animal Services budget. She is the first one who has been able to get a hold of that elusive piece of paper. What takeaways did you have? Because we've said all along, Mayor, in this situation, you have to follow the money. And once you follow the money, you'll find out why things are the way they are. So overall, what did you find?
I find that this is being told, stop it, go. I mean, do not pass go, do not collect any funding before that, because I don't have anything to compare it to. This only tells half the story. How do we know how to follow if we don't know where we're starting?
Mayor Quintanilla is a rotating position. She does not know budgets. That's not her strength. The city of Palm Desert just had their budget process for 2 months, and they voted. The mayor abstained. She didn't even know enough to vote on the city's budget. So she's not a source. She's not a CPA. I listened to her report. She's not talking about budgets. If you want to understand the budgets, we have a county auditor, Ben Benoit, who's terrific. And if you have questions, bring them to him. He's the guy. Go to CPAs that get it. It's not a question of the money. I mean, it is a question of the money, and you said to follow it. That's not the issue, Fred.
All right. So that was last night. As you can see, our contributor, Brian Harnick, really didn't think much of the mayor's ability to decipher that budget. He also had this to say about how the investigation is moving.
It is not a simple issue. These are bigger issues that the county is dealing with, and they are looking at it in a holistic manner. I want to support our elected officials to do this. They respond to us. Supervisor Perez and his staff are doing it. Fred, I am confident they have heard you and they're working it. Your job is to shine a flashlight. You have shown a spotlight on it. They're responding to you. I am confident that Supervisor Perez and his staff are jumping on this, and I think it's in no small part to the flashlight and spotlight you've shined on it. They have heard you, Fred. They are fixing it.
All right. So I spoke with someone this morning, and they told me that an audit has been going on. It started 6 weeks ago. It started because of the outcry of the public, people watching this program, watching Mary Strong's reports, and the totality of the marketplace saying, what is going on out there, and why can't things change? The audit is 6 weeks in. I was told it will take up to 4 months to complete the audit. And I was also told this: every time they look at one thing, they find another. We welcome back our contributors to the show. The mayor is of one opinion. Brian sees it another way. Chauncey, how do you see it?
I see it like this, Fred. Brian's wife is a city council member. She got an endorsement from Manny Perez. I'm just going to throw that out there. I think his comments last night about the mayor were a little unfounded. She sits on several boards. I have to take her at her word. She's done the research. And if she abstained from something in Palm Desert, there's probably good reason why she abstained to a budget. But in this particular instance, where is Manny Perez on your show? Where is he at to represent? We're not seeing it. I've known Ben Benoit, not personally, but I've seen his career out of Marietta for many years. So I do think he's an upstanding person. But at the same time, the leader of the Animal Rescue Commission, her husband is an attorney for County of Riverside. So I'm not sure the voters are going to feel that they're getting the best audit done when this is someone that is a colleague of the auditor.
All right, Stephanie, how about 25 seconds? Go.
Boy, the plot's thickening, and I'm going to join Brian in saying good for you for shining that spotlight. I think you are getting things done. I think there is a lot of a deeper level to go to, and I agree Ben Benoit will go there. He's pretty tough. So I look forward to seeing what comes out of it because I support the shelter, and I think the county needs to do some cleanup here.
All right. We received a number of comments on this topic. Sabina wrote us this. She saw an article in the Voice of OC about Orange County animal shelters being brought in front of a grand jury. Thanks for your reporting on the failures of the Riverside County Animal Shelter. Maybe the same can be done to force Riverside County shelters and/or Supervisor Perez to comply with policies and to explain why they are killing so many animals. Thanks so much for bringing this issue to the forefront. And we received this from Lisa. Erin Geddes does not comply with state mandates, as she admitted publicly. 3 weeks later, on May 9th, 2024, she sent a press release stating she complies with all state mandates and laws. All of us who have witnessed the pets languishing in pain and suffering know Geddes does not follow the Hayden Act. Does this concern anyone? Is this who we trust to care for our shelter pets? Wow, after that, looks like we need some good neighbor energy. Charles in Cathedral City is looking to add solar to his home. Who should he use? Susie in Thousand Palms is switching up her internet provider, T-Mobile. Is that any good? In La Quinta, Sewer Chris has a broken machine. Where should they take it? Joan in Palm Desert wants everybody to know that Bill's Pizza has always been her go-to pizza place. Mine too.
Look closely at the screen. It's not a mirage. It's a show.
Tell Fred what you think about it. Find Fred on Facebook and Instagram at Fred Roggin or email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
You know, losing weight is starting to get expensive. Everybody seems to want to lose weight. It's the newest thing. It's always been that way, but I'll tell you something. It's very expensive if you are uninsured. Check this. New drugs, Ozempic, Wegovy, Zepbound, can work weight loss miracles, but insurers don't want to pay just so you can lose weight. So makers Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk are backing studies to find other health issues their drugs can conquer, like sleep apnea or heart disease, according to the Wall Street Journal. Let's be clear, this is not philanthropic. The more stuff insurers will cover, the more money companies will make. All right, let's start with you, Stephanie. Why isn't weight loss enough? Why in the world do they have to try to do something else to generate more money?
Well, I agree. And weight loss should be the end game, because when you lose weight, you get healthier overall. Your joints do better. Your sleep apnea goes away. A lot of things go away when you lose the extra weight. And I think it should be something that is covered for a short period of time to get people on the right path. And as long as they change their habits and they stay on the right path, it is not something you do for the rest of your life. It's something you do to get a hold of a situation. So I agree with you. It should be covered. And I think we should be pushing health and weight loss for a reason for living longer and not taking a lot of drugs.
Chauncey, go ahead.
No, I agree with Stephanie. I will say I had a roommate in college that he sounded like an 18-wheeler truck snoring. So that's whole sleep apnea thing, I get it. And I think that if this drug helps to reduce the snoring for folks, we might see a lot more people staying married longer. So I think for the spouses that have to deal with snorers, this is going to be a helpful tool.
All right. Let's see what's snoring in the weather and send it over to Director Alex for Super Weather.
No.
What does Paul, the people's weatherman, the plumber, have to say about this?
It's hot and humid. It almost feels like a sauna. Where's my robe?
We do not want to see him in a robe. Now, let me tell you something, and I think we've all faced this at one point or another. When the mood hits you, you just got to face it. Seductive. The Pegasus controversy when we come back. Welcome back to the program. You've heard of Pegasus. It is a local charity that does equine therapy for special need Valley residents. Recently, volunteers at that facility have raised some concerns.
I was a volunteer executive director for 6 months from August of 21 through February of 22. They're making a move and they're making up false reasons for the move. And they're leaving behind one of the backbones, two of the backbones of Pegasus. When there's an incident, and we're talking about big animals, and we're talking about kids with disabilities, and we're talking about volunteers, there are going to be incidents. They don't report them.
All right, well, let's find out. We welcome in now Andrew Dye. He is the Vice President of Pegasus Board of Directors. Appreciate you joining the program tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right. You know how important Pegasus is to the community. You appreciate what it means for people. And recently, you guys have been taking an awful lot of heat about what's going on there. So what's going on there?
Yeah, Fred, we're aware of, some of the concerns that have been raised by a very small amount of former and current volunteers at the ranch. Basically, what's going on is that we're moving our facility. We're moving our facility to better serve the community. We're moving for a covered ring. and for less interference from some of the extreme weather events that we've experienced these last couple of years. And much to our surprise, we were notified that some volunteers had reached out to the media and raised some concerns around not just the board, but the operation of the program at the ranch. So we're here today happy to address those concerns.
All right, well, let me give you one right off the top. Some of those volunteers have reached out to us. We did not do the story yet until we had a chance to talk with you. They're concerned about safety. They think safety has now become an issue. Have you heard those concerns?
You know, it's interesting. We haven't heard any of those concerns. We've been operating 40 years. We've had 0 insurance claims. Safety is our top priority.
Okay. And again, you're saying no one has come to you with these concerns. No one pulled you aside, sat down, had a conversation. They went to the media. They voiced those concerns. If they had come to you, what would you have said?
You know, we take safety very seriously. That's our number one priority. We would address any concern. We're happy to speak with anyone from the public who wants to come out and see what we do on a day-to-day basis. We recommend, please come to the ranch, see the operation, you know, see how we're changing the lives of these children and adults with special needs.
Appreciate you joining the program tonight and clearing it up.
Brett, thanks so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Look, I get it. It's hot. You've been working. You probably need a Polynesian getaway. Well, with your hectic schedule, you're probably not able to do that. The city of Palm Springs, though, has just what you need, and our community report guru, Steve Sumrall, explains.
Tonga Hut actually goes back to Los Angeles, and the first Tonga Hut was opened in 1958 by Ace and Ed Libby. They were 2 brothers, and they opened that bar in 1958, and that bar is still going.
Also still going, the Palm Springs branch of the Tonga Hut, which opened its doors in 2013. And what is their signature beverage?
We do the old Trader Vic's classic Mai Tai. That's the recipe from 1944. It's not going to be a sweet Mai Tai. It's going to be a little bit tart, lime forward, and we're known for our Mai Tais.
And if you're feeling adventurous, your party can book the Secret Room. Access via a secret entrance through this old telephone booth, of course.
We've been more of the old school style of the bars in town, and so that distinguishes us a little bit. So each bar is unique, so it makes it kind of fun to go to all 3.
You heard that right. Palm Springs has 3 tiki bars to choose from. Like the Reef, located in the Caliente Tropics Resort, where the drinks are chilled, but sometimes there's a little fire involved.
We are where you start drinking and eating and where you end, since we have food and we open at noon and we're open 7 days a week.
And what is their signature beverage?
We serve all the classics, but the one that we serve the most of is the Palm Springs Punch, which is a punch rum paste with spiced rum. It has vanilla notes to it, and it's actually quite bright, but has a good alcoholic content.
And now for the final stop on our tiki tour, which is also the most historic.
Bootlegger Tiki, it's been here 10 years. It's in the original building of Don the Beachcomber.
Don the Beachcomber was the name of the original chain of tiki bars in the United States. The first lounge opened in Hollywood in 1934, the year after the repeal of Prohibition by Don Beach, alias Ernest Gant, the father of tiki culture. The name Bootlegger Tiki is an homage to him. During Prohibition, Ernest Gant was indeed a bootlegger. And their signature beverage?
Called a Pad Thai, and it's lime juice, a house made of lemongrass syrup, coconut, rum, and then also a little bit of sparkling water. It's a real easy drinking cocktail. It's super popular with our customers.
Wow. Oh, wow. It took a second to hit me. This is Steve Sumrall for the Roggin Report.
I think Steve took a little nip there. Got pretty excited. Back with something indisputable after this.
Can we agree to disagree? Can we agree you'll tell us what you think? Find Fred on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fred Roggin. You can also email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
Hey, did you know dust caps used to be signs of intelligence? 13th century philosopher John Duns Scotus believed that a pointed cap would help spread knowledge from the tip of the brain, and his Dunsman followers wore them as a badge of honor. Wow, impressive.
Couple of quick comments tonight. This one comes from Jill last night in Good Neighbor. The question was, how do I get to the Rancho Mirage Airport? I am the taxi administrator for Sunline Regulatory Agency. Sunline Transit Agency has a taxi voucher program for people 60 and over that is a matching program. The cardholder adds up to $75 in a 30-day period, and Sunline matches that up to $75. So the cardholder has $150 to use on taxi fares. It's a great opportunity for seniors wanting alternative transportation in the Valley. And Raymond has a suggestion because it's so very hot outside. And here it is. The Valley would be much cooler if everybody left their windows open with the AC on. Thanks, Ray. Remember, NBC Palm Springs works 24/7. Go to the website, click on the Roggin Report icon. It'll take you to our show page. Our content from tonight is up there and past shows as well. We appreciate you watching. I'm going to take a couple of days off. I rarely do that, but I'm going to. I'll be back soon. Stay tuned for Wheel of Fortune, which is next.